Hello and welcome to the snow. I'm off on the River Stour doing some fishing, quite late in the day actually. It's Saturday and I just watched Tottenham Hotspur versus Leeds on television, and I already had the car loaded, so I came out straight after that and made the short journey down to the River Stour. I live in Staffordshire, so it's a tier 4 area along with the West Midlands and the Black Country. In fact, Shropshire, which is just a few minutes away, the border by car, is a tier 3, so I can't really go from tier 4 to 3, but as long as I can go fishing, that's the important thing. I'll be able to get an hour or so in today anyway, and as far as I'm concerned, my experiences tell me that that's roach time anyway. I was also following the Rangers v Celtic game, and when I came out it was 1-0 to Rangers. That's my Scottish team, so I'll be hoping that it's stayed the same as that. It's a healthy lead for Rangers anyway, at the top of the table. Anyway, I'm almost there by the water's edge. The rod's made up, so all I have to do is piece it together, stick a bait on, cast out, and I'm fishing. See you soon. As the snow continues to fall, it's not heavy though, I've cast out, put some bait out there, brown crumb and red maggots, and I'm fishing a line down the centre of the river. It's a nice day, bit cold, but nevertheless a nice day, and I do enjoy fishing in the snow. I said I live in Staffordshire, that's my historic traditional county, but since 1974 all the borders were moved around and local councils and different administrative counties sprung up, so my council tax is not paid to Staffordshire, but it's paid elsewhere, but nevertheless still in the actual traditional county of Staffordshire, where I was born, by the way. Staffordshire and Shropshire are my counties that I can relate to as an Englishman and as a Welshman. Well, across the border, Radnorshire, Montgomeryshire, that's where my roots are, from that side of the border. And I've said on many occasions that I'm very proud to be English and equally proud of my Welsh ancestry. And talking of other side of the border, the game ended in Glasgow 1-0 to Rangers. That's a very healthy lead now at the top of the table. The New Saints, we've played Rangers for not this current season due to the coronavirus situation, but we've played at Rangers at the training ground a couple of times on the bounce, and we were due to be there again this time, but of course the COVID-19 situation changed everything. I've been to the Celtic training ground as well, but that wasn't for a game, that was actually to train when we played in what was then the Iron Brew Cup. We drew Livingston, and prior to that we went up the day before and we went to Celtic's training ground where we prepared for the game. Really enjoyed it, both of them great facilities indeed, and Rangers especially because that's, as I've said, my Scottish team, but both of them very, very impressive facilities indeed. I've missed the trips to Scotland, or potential trips, because we could have got home draws. I've missed the trips to Scotland this season because the competition, which is now called the Tunnocks Caramel Wafer, and I've just had my first bite, the Tunnocks Caramel Wafer Challenge Cup was postponed due to the already mentioned COVID-19 situation. But even if we had a home draw, I used to go to Scotland anyway to represent the New Saints at the draws themselves. So I've been to places like the Falkirk Wheel, other places, Hampden. I got there early, so I had a lovely tour of Hampden, the ground there, when we went off to the the Ship Museum, the Maritime Museum on the Clyde, the Glasgow transport museum, because there's cars and things there as well. Really enjoyed that one. So hopefully next season, well, the New Saints will finish in a position in the league whereby we get invited into the competition, and then of course the competition goes ahead. But for now, I'm focused on catching a roach on the 2nd day of January 2021. Let's get the bad stuff out of the way first. I blanked. I did have 2 bites though, and to bring everything into perspective, I spoke to 4 anglers. They'd been out all day as opposed to my very short session at the end of it. They'd been to a number of venues, including the River Severn, and between the 4 of them, they didn't even have a bite each. That's how bad it was, generally speaking, in terms of the fish playing ball today. However, I enjoyed it, and that's the important thing, isn't it? I tell you what though, it was cold. When I put my net on the ground when I arrived, and I picked it up a short time later to pack away, the net had frozen. So rather than picking it up and the net itself flopped down, it actually remained as it was on the ground. It's been cold, but as I say, I've enjoyed it. And do you know what? I'll be back out tomorrow. If you are fishing yourself this weekend or beyond, tight lines, stay warm and enjoy.